It's been a while since I've done Road Back to 2500, and that's mostly been because things got a little too crazy. In particular, because I was consumed with helping construct the ChessDojo training program, which I'm very happy about. And now is a good time for me to reboot the Road Back to 2500, both because that has been established now and it seems to be doing well. Plus, now I want to use the training program myself. And hopefully, if you're not involved in the training program, you can see what I'm doing here. It just gives you a sense of what it's about. Last couple of months, I have not been able to train because of, mostly because I was just trying to do the training program. I told KGB, I was like, dude, I can't do it anymore. For a while, I need to take a break. And he's like, oh, yes, you must do what you must do. So that was kind of rough. But I'm sure I can start that back up again. And I had committed ages ago to go play the Denver Open. And, I was just not prepared to play. So it was let's say, some positive feedback that then I won the tournament. I just got back this past Tuesday, so yesterday. And beautiful tournament. Also cool to see the people from the dojo there. Here's a picture of us afterwards. Kind of nice just to see everybody hang out a little bit. And I played some reasonable chess. I kept things under control. It was what he wanted from me. And I think some of the things KGB has kind of got into me that I did well was I played the intuitive moves quickly. And then when it came to the calculation, I really allowed myself, I had the time to then think deeply about what was going on. So this is a big part of the success there. So I gained some points, and one of the things that was psychologically comforting about it was, I've been in a tailspin since my son was born 2018. I had reached a high of like 25-20, and then it was just collapsing. It's just totally collapsing to all the way down to 23.99, which I hadn't been in, I don't know, since, my gosh, like 1999 maybe. It's been a long time. And so I was really in this crush, and so a little bit of encouragement was very nice to see. Plus, we have our rating bands in our training system. So it was just comforting to be above 2400, to be able to be in the 2400 rating band. So I want to show how this works, and I'm going to just fill this out, and hopefully people who are interested in the training program can see how this works. This is called our scoreboard. And this is just a way to mark out the benchmarks that you've hit or not hit, and to see what other people are doing, okay? So, for example, if I go down to a lower rating band, this is 1400 to 1500, you can see we've got loads of people in here, and they have done various aspects of the benchmarks, right? And we have like around 400 people in the training program, so we don't have everyone yet using the scoreboard. It's kind of a new invention that we've got, but it's really cool because you can see what other people haven't done, and then also see like, well, what do they still need to do? And many of our requirements, our benchmarks, are things that you need to do with other people, such as sparring. Now, here I am, over here, 2400. Mr. Proust, is he above 2400? I don't know. He could be in the 2300 program if he wanted to. In any case, we're all doing things FIDE rated here. So anyways, that's what we're doing. And so if you have a USCF rating, for example, you can adjust that. It'll get downgraded a little bit to translate it to the FIDE rating. Anyway, so here we go. I'm pumped to do this. Here we go. I'm going to start, and I'm not exactly sure what my rating will be, but it's going to be around, let's say, 2408. And the starting date, I might just do that in a little bit, but the starting date we're going to say May 25th, and then rating system FIDE. And then I'm just going to go through some of these check marks to see, and you'll see how massive, how massive the quest is. Now, one thing I want to stress is that I have a concrete goal in addition that's kind of dovetails with the 2500 quest, which is if I get my rating to 2500, maybe even close to 2500, I will qualify by rating to the US Senior Closed. And I don't think I got it this year. I have not received an invitation, and it would have to be like a bunch of people canceling or not wanting to go or not able to go for whatever reasons that I would get a shot at it this year because my rating had tanked so hard. So I do have a chance, so end of July, to play in the US Senior Open. And then the winner of that event gets a spot in the next year's Senior Closed. So that gives me 2 routes to get into the tournament next year, either by rating or via this qualification process. And of course, the rating is both not just for the senior event, but just something I feel like my chess would be back on a solid ground. And one of the cool things I do believe about chess is the rating in a lot of ways doesn't lie. Like you can say, a lot of old guys say, oh, I understand chess so much better than I used to. Maybe that's true, but there's elements of the competitive struggle that we're not getting. And a lot of times, of course, as old guys, we are declining in our abilities. That's just a feature of growing old. It's also true, to a certain extent, that us old guys often get overrun by life's obligations, and it gets hard to study and find the time to study. And that's why I want to really use this checkbox system so that I can keep track of my progress and kind of like force the progress to happen, keep me on track. So let's run through this and see what we got. Puzzle Rush 44, I got it. I have not done the survival, so I have not done that. Have I done Endgame Tactics? Check. That is Van Perlo's Endgame Tactics. It's a little bit cheap of me because I was the one who put it in there as a requirement, but I did it. Great book. Have I done the Endgame Manual? Yes. The sparring positions I haven't done yet, so I'm going to need David or Kostya to do those with me. Also, I want to get other players in here with us. That would also be great. More 2,400 plus players. So here we have our first controversy. I was not a fan of this book, My Great Predecessors. I don't even know. We might get that out of there. I don't know. In any case, Test of Time, yes. A little controversy with Test of Time because it's so hard to get, basically impossible. I have a copy, but it's very tough to get unless you steal it as a PDF, which we have certain problems telling people to do, right? The memorized game I have not done. The full repertoire, what we mean by that is to write out what your full repertoire is and explain how that matches your playing style. We have that started as a requirement from several rating bands below us. So I need to do that. And then what you now see are the sparring positions. So in the opening, anybody's opening repertoire, we need you to write out what some of the key positions are. And then what this all is just a list of times that you sparred the position with someone around your rating level. And you do it both from the color that you have and also your opponent's color. So that is a great thing for my openings. And I do think when I consider what I need before this tournament in late July is what I noticed in Denver is with the openings, it's not just a memorization thing. I need to have a feel for the positions that the early middle game, And there was one game in particular which I felt like I didn't really have a feel for what was going on. And this is the kind of thing that would definitely help that kind of struggle. So you can see it's a turtle. Then we got Review Grandmaster Games. This is a really cool thing. And so at this rating band, it's just all Carlsen games. And we're going to have around 50 games. So that's that. I've done 2 of them. So we got 1, 2. You can see I get to do some check marks. Then we come up here. Model annotated game. Good. I haven't done it. Comment on someone else's analysis. Good. I can do that. Arguably, let's say I've done that. I have done that. And that's one of the things on stream that I'm doing quite a bit, is I'm going over other people's games. Right, and I got to review someone else. I've done that too in the Twitch. I'm streaming that. Now here, classical games and postmortems. So what this means is that you got to play a classical game and then you got to review it. And the postmortems, we want to encourage people to go over the games with their opponents after. And that's far less work than what we're requiring with the playing the game and analyzing the game. So for example, I'm going to start this process now, and I'm going to say that at the tournament, I actually did several post-mortems. In the post-mortem, you know, it's not like you always have loads of time to do it. Round 5, I didn't really do a post-mortem. Round 4, I did. Round 3, I did not have time to do it. And round 2, I did. And I'm going to call it that. So I'm going to give myself 2 postmortems. And in a tournament, often it's just not the case that you get a chance to do the postmortems. And I think that's happening for online games as well. It's not always the case that your opponent's available to go over the game afterwards. All right, so there it is, the big structure of what it would look like. And this is, again, I'm trying to see it not only for using it myself, but to see how it looks on the other end after having helped design this beast. And one of the big questions is simply, if Jesse does all this, will he get back to 2,500? It's obviously a lot of work. And you can see that the main stress here is going over my game. So for example, Denver, I played 5 games, and I'm gonna have to, and it says classical games and postmortems, but it really means that you play the classical game and you analyze the game. So I'm gonna have only 5 done of those. And for example, then at the end of July, I'll also only have 6. But I will spend a great amount of time on each of those games. And I think if I do that, if I do a little bit of the opening work and then especially some calculation work, that's going to go well for me. And one of the things here, actually, it's a little bit, I might change up is adding one of the tactics books. It was funny because some of the tactics books we have in lower sections that I really like, such as The Best Move by Hort and Janso, which I've been doing. And I kind of also want to reread Perfect Your Chess. And so some book like that kind of belongs in here. Because Puzzle Rush, I think at this level, is only just a game. It's a little helpful to kind of jar your mind a little bit, but it's just a game. Here we go. Time zone availability, I can put that in here too. I'm on the East Coast, so let's put Eastern time. A lot of people get real fancy and they're like EST. I don't need to be so fancy. I'll just put Eastern time. So if you are out there and you can come help me on this 2400 quest, be part of this thing, that would be great. I need some sparring partners. Kostya is going to sign himself up here too. I think it's going to be a great thing. And you know, one of the things that I'm sure I share with other players out there of a variety of levels is the problem that kind of we're trying to address with the program, which is there's so many things to study in chess that you can get distracted by this and that and the other thing, and then it's hard to find kind of a cohesive plan. And that's what this thing is hopefully really doing. And by me doing it myself, I'm really hoping, right, that I can improve and then see what the training program is like from the inside. Okay, I'll leave it there, and I'll do another one of these. At the very least, I promise I will do one after this tournament at the end of July. All right, bye-bye.